thank you very much for your time this evening. It's time for Fashion Watch. Use the hashtag Fashion Watch to talk to us or SMS us using 22422. We're looking at the latest fashion trends in the country, and tonight I want to introduce our resident Fashion Watch panel in studio every Saturday right here on Citizen TV, starting with the lovely Annabelle Onyango, who is a celebrity fashion stylist and who will be critiquing the trends that we'll be bringing your way this evening. Thank you for joining us, Annabelle. Also with us is Robert Varale. He's an image consultant and a motivational speaker, and we'll be getting his thoughts on this week's trends. Also with us, award-winning fashion journalist Carol Odero, every Saturday right here with the Fashion Watch panel. She'll be critiquing this week's trends. And of course, celebrity judge Ian, celebrity thespian, also looking at the latest trends and telling us what's in and what's not. So we want to begin with what was trending this week, and Kenyan songstress Nyota Ndogo, who wed her husband Henning Nelson. Nyota Ndogo, you know her for her hit song Kuna Watu na Viatu. Her name is actually Mwanaisha Abdallah. And, you know, she is Muslim, so they had to do their wedding the Islam way. She's found in a red gown with catchy details, but Kenyans felt that her face beat was a total mess. And this is why most people have been trolling her on social media. I do know that Nyota Ndogo since went out on her Instagram and said, you know what, even if you think my makeup was a total mess, this was my big day, I'm happy. So I want to talk to Annabelle. I want to start with you, Annabelle, because you recently got married, and I want to talk about makeup for this big day, because your photos are really all you have to remember that big day. So for you, are people being unfair, trolling Nyota Ndogo, saying that this was just not even the makeup, just the, and by the way, Muslims, red I think is their thing during their weddings. So what do you think about this whole Nyota Ndogo face beat?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say congratulations to the happy couple, her and her groom. They look very happy together, and everybody deserves to be happy on their wedding day, especially when your wedding goes viral, girl. I mean, she is from Mombasa, so the red, you know, the red dress, the head wrap, the jewelry, the layers of, you know, necklaces. That's really normal for that culture. So I'm not even mad at that. However, the makeup, I mean, you know, I think there's a certain amount of blending that you have to do in makeup. And this is, you know, when on your wedding day, you really need a professional makeup artist to show up. I mean, I know from my personal experience, backstage, before you get pushed into the aisle, it can get a little bit hectic, it can get a little bit tense. And I didn't even look in the mirror before I went out down the aisle, because it was just, there was a lot going on. It was hectic, it was crazy. And thank goodness I had a great makeup artist, Washuka Thimba, shout out to her. But you really need sort of good people to really, you know, be the team that help you be the best that you can be. And this girl, I mean, I Googled her, and she's born in 1981.
So she's in her early 30s, yeah.
That makes her
35.
35, same age as me. And I mean, this makeup ages her literally 15 to 20 years. And it's a shame, because it's your special day. But like I said, I mean, she looks happy.
Yeah, and you know, just before I get to the rest of the panel for their thoughts, Annabelle, prior to your wedding, what are you supposed to do so that, because yes, like you're saying, it's bound to be a very hectic day. So, you know, should you play around with makeup artists? Should you, you know, like what is the preparation supposed to be like for that big day as regards your makeup? Because I remember during my wedding, I hated my makeup on the DJ. I did, but you know, it was just one of those, I can't go without makeup. But I'll be getting Robert's thoughts on whether makeup is even necessary. But let's talk about what to do before.
I think you can't bargain with how you're going to look on that day as a bride. You have to take every precaution to make sure that you're going to look the best that you've ever looked.
Including taking photos and...
Yeah, I mean, you interview makeup artists, you have tests, including hair, makeup. You do the whole thing so that you know exactly how you're going to look on that day. And, you know, go with somebody who's tried and tested. Washuka Thimba, who did mine, I mean, she's the best that you can get out there. So do your research, do your due diligence, do a test, and make sure that, you know, that you look the best you can. Now is not the time on your wedding night to experiment with makeup.
Okay, Bob, so let's talk about the gown, and also let's get you know, a bit of your thoughts on the makeup, because you see me in my natural element every day, you know, say you're my fiance, and then I show up on our big day and I'm looking like this total stranger. But let's talk about the gown and what you think about the makeup.
First and foremost, I think people are very unfair. Some people got very personal. And I've seen many Muslim weddings, and I've seen this kind of makeup. I don't know if it's part of the culture. And I think, and I will say this, I read some places where women are really abusing her. And I realized most of those women are single. You know, so maybe there's a bit of pain in these women. I would rather have this makeup and go home with a husband than the ones abusing on social media. But I think what I'm trying to say is I've seen many Muslim weddings, and I've seen this kind of makeup. I've actually seen more pronounced makeup, and it's her wedding day. You can try any crazy thing, and I don't think she does this every day. If she had this kind of makeup every day, then we'd have a problem. But maybe on their day...
You're not supposed to try crazy things on your wedding day.
Yeah, but in her defense, when you look at many other Muslim weddings, I have seen that kind of makeup. So I don't know if it's part of the culture. My big brother, God rest his soul in peace, was married to a Muslim lady. And when I wasn't around, when I saw the videos, there was a lot of makeup. So I think it's a cultural thing. But on her day-to-day life,
what
she didn't have...
What about the gown?
I would have gone with a different color, but as you said, Lillian, I think it's cultural that they have to wear red. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I think red or green, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Carol, you know, Nyota Ndogo is this dark-skinned African beauty. She's got dreadlocks, and her trademark is really her dark, beautiful skin, and the fact that, you know, she embraces that the African kitenge and all of that. So this came as a shock to many people, and yeah, the trolling, was that justified?
Trolling is never justified. Really, you just need to get a life. If you have a life, you will not troll people. That's simple. But basically, when I look at Nyota Ndogo, what people don't realize about dark skin is that it actually absorbs more color. The darker you are, the more color you can use on your skin. And this is specifically why you need a professional makeup artist. Now, like Annabelle said, you need to prepare in advance. What is recommended is that you do a trial run, hair and makeup, and then you see how it looks, and then you see if you approve of it. You don't have the first look on your wedding day. You're supposed to already have an idea, and you have planned it, and you know that it goes with the dress and it fits with the theme, and then this is the makeup artist you're using, and this is the look that you require. So in this case, it's not even a case of even blending. I think if she would have gotten a professional, could have used the exact same color, but she would have looked beautiful because of her dark skin, and it would have worked for her because the professional would know exactly what to do. So I've also seen Muslim videos, especially on YouTube, and they do use a lot of makeup and a lot of color, but they have a very sophisticated way of doing it, and it's very refined. So she didn't have to make it look like, and she also said that it was the lighting, that the photographer did not have the light, which I think is a complete disaster. Again, that's one of the things a photographer is supposed to prepare for. A photographer who lets you down without lighting on the day of the wedding should be fired on the spot. Literally, it is better to use people's phones and use the pictures than to go with this.
And Robert, rather Ian, this is a performing artist, so ordinarily one would expect that there'll be a lot of attention coming her way, you know, after her wedding, and particularly because she was the first one to post her pictures on her Instagram, and you know, then all those photos went viral. What do you think about Nyota Ndogo's big day and just making this affair public and the backlash she received out of that? How can she correct that?
Well, she knew very well what she was doing when she was putting out those photos. It's just that the backlash, that then she started saying it was the lighting and what have you. If people hadn't said that, she would have been okay with it. And it's her life. It's her life. It's her wedding.
But can she afford to make such such mistakes as Nyota Ndogo, as this celebrity?
She should not have given excuses. She should just have kept quiet. Because on social media, the more you try and explain, the more it just yes, back and forth, back and forth. Just say nothing. Put them out there. I'm married. This is what I look like. Period.
Yeah, nobody.
You know how she could divert attention away from her is by pointing out how underdressed her groom is actually. How come nobody trolled him and told him how come he's wearing a plain, shirt, he's not wearing a tux, he's not wearing a tie, he's not wearing a traditional outfit. He just seems super underdressed.
They actually did troll him. They called him a sponsor.
but also, having said that, I think her best reply should have been, this is just a wedding day. Let me enjoy my marriage. Simple as that.
I know, right?
Yeah. But then again, this wedding was actually held in Voi, and being, I think, a 3-day or 2-day affair, there's other, images of them in the traditional, he has the kanzu on and she's in the lesso and what have you, and that looked better. But then again, we want to get your thoughts on Nyota Ndogo's big day. She looks extremely happy, so we celebrate her. But let's get your thoughts on, you know, the way forward as regards wedding makeup and photography. Yeah, please tell us what you think. Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Okay, let's proceed. And up next we have the multi-choice Kenya 2016 African celebration. I want to start with this African print top and black tights, or are they pants, Carol? Let me get your thoughts.
Well, I mean, the dress code for this event was a touch of African. And the touch is, you know, it could be in anything, including I'm walking in there and I'm dark-skinned. Of course, I'm African. That's a touch of African. You know, it could have worked. So, I mean, I like this look. It's very simple. It's understated. I love her shoes, in fact, because usually when you see women with flat shoes,
I
think they're flats, yeah. And, you know, I love that everything that she's worn is very, you know, it's fitting, it's elegant. Again, it's sophisticated. Most people are not good with making African look sophisticated. I like the way she's done the look. Her makeup is very minimal. The thing that stands out the most is that top, and that's pretty much it.
And about the flats for evening events or stepping out, how appropriate is this, wearing flats?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with wearing a flat, actually, especially when you wear a flat the right way. And her flat is worn the right way because not only is it black, but it has sort of a metallic toe. So that dresses it up. There's don't feel pressure to always have to wear high heels every time you go out at night, especially when it's not a red carpet event. I like this girl's outfit. I think this is Sage.
It looks like Sage.
The musician.
It looks like Sage.
And, you know, I think event organizers are really now starting to abuse the touch of African. Like, everybody is saying a touch of African for absolutely every event. Okay. But I like the way she has, you know, her hair, like, top knot, which I've tried to do tonight. I don't know. But anyway, I don't have hair. She has hair, and she's done this sort of beautiful African-inspired top knot, which is a really subtle nod to the dress code, which was African-themed.
Okay. Let's proceed and see who else was there. Remember, once again, this is the multi-choice Kenya 2016 African celebration. This is Papa Shirandula, Charles Bukeko. You know him for his role on Papa Shirandula right here on Citizen TV. I want to start with you, Ian. Papa's orange shirt. I don't know if you've seen Papa in this shirt. I don't know why I get the feeling he has worn this shirt, you know, quite a number of times. I don't know. I might be wrong. What do you think?
You might be wrong. It could be the same style. But his big...
But, okay, that's his signature, whatever you call that hat.
Yes.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called, actually.
Yeah.
But that's his signature.
Remember, we used to call it Nehru. Because Nehru used to...
Yeah.
Do you remember Nehru?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He looks very nice. He's big, and... he has dressed his body well, as Burale would say. I'm not quite sure about the shoes. I think they're okay.
Yeah?
I think they're okay.
Okay, Bob, let's talk about Papa because he's a big guy, yeah? So that color, that bright, bold orange for a bigger guy, and it's, I think, I don't know what fabric that is, but let's talk about this look.
The good thing about this gentleman is that he understands his brand, and he's larger than life, so he does not want to go in a function with a dull colored outfit. So that's he chose the right color because it gets attention, and he's even the pose.
What do you mean it gets attention? He's Papa Shirandula. He's bound to get attention either way.
And the other thing is, most of the time he's seen in what? His suit or his blue uniform.
Why I said to create attention, when MultiChoice is called for an event, they organize them very well, so they expect the turnout for the invites is about 80%. So it was a big crowd, actually. So you want to go the extra mile because his brand works for him and he works it very well. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a win?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what you think about Papa's look. And this is Della Maranga. I want to talk about the blue hair, which you know, we've seen on Victoria Kimani. And I want to start with you, Ian, performing artist, and this daring to be different, and how functional it is in the day-to-day, leave alone the stage where we see people, and leave alone fashion stylists who can get away with, you know, going that extra mile.
I believe that Della is still trying to find her style, because even her music has changed. The old Della and her new music, completely different, and she's trying out different things. Even her styling and her videos have completely gone through some metamorphosis. So I think she's still trying to figure out a look that will go for her.
Yeah.
But the blue hair, I think she should leave that alone.
Okay, so Carol, if you were to style Della, how would you? She's a tall girl, she's in great shape, and her style is, I think, also quite different from what we've heard across the airwaves in the country. So if you were to style Della, what look would you go for?
That would be, I don't know if I can lock down a specific look.
Does this work for her though? Do you like the blue hair?
Because it's too covered up, and especially with the blue hair makes her exciting and interesting to look at. So you also want an outfit that supports the hair, and that's why probably it looks out of place. Maybe that's why Ian is saying leave it alone. I think Della can pull it off because she has that kind of vibrancy and she has that kind of personality. She definitely can push the envelope, and she's done it before. We've seen it before. We've had controversial conversations about her look on stage. If I were to go with something for her, I would go with something that, you know, shows off her body, you know, as someone who is confident and bold, and also someone who's sexy and interesting. And I think she constantly she pushes the envelope a little too much on either side. If she just found a balance, then it would work for her.
Yeah. Annabelle, is there a balance in what Della is wearing, would you say? Is it, you know, confused? What do you think about this look?
I like this look.
Yeah.
I like this look, guys. I mean, I like this. I like the fact, first of all, that it is covered up. I like that because it's unexpected. You never think of these artist girls to go out and cover up head to toe. I like that. I like the fact that she's wearing neutrals because I think then it lets her blue hair really stand out. I like the simplicity of what she's wearing. The hair is a statement. That's what she's trying to tell you. She's trying to tell you, I have blue hair. With Della, I mean, she is a style chameleon, like Ian says. She changes every time you see her. The songs change, the style changes, the look changes. So sometimes it can be a bit confusing. I would say I like the blue hair so much. If she kept this for a while, then it would be her signature look, and then we would identify her as, oh, that's Della. Every time you see her, you know it's Della. So I like this look on her. I feel like she needs a signature style to stick with, so that to strengthen her brand.
A touch of Africa.
Yeah, and again, we don't see that touch of Africa, you know, in Della's.
I think she's probably wearing a brooch on her.
Okay, with a bit of African.
I assume that's the touch of Africa.
Okay, so Bob, again, for the corporates who are looking for brand ambassadors and what have you, and ideally what works on the stage as a performing artist and what works in the boardroom if you are to endorse a brand based on your talent and the look to go for, like just what I asked Ian earlier about what works on the stage and what, you know.
Yeah, they're two different ballgames. What works on the stage will not necessarily work in the boardroom. I love this look. If just you put the bag aside, I think it's a fantastic look. I would want to encourage ladies who can wear trousers and tuck in their shirts. It brings some boom about them, you know. And yes, she has covered herself, but there's confidence in covering herself. If she wants to make moves in a corporate entity, she would have to go for a darker color, black hair. Then you'll be taken seriously in the boardroom. But in all, I think this is a fantastic look. Trousers, and I believe she has high heels on.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. That just does it for me as well.
So it works for you apart from the hair?
Yes.
Okay. Let us know about Della's blue hair. What do you think? Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Antonio Sol, red jacket, very minimal. African print blue on his red jacket. The other day we were talking about Antonio Sol's diaper pants, Carol, and, then and here he is now looking a bit more mature.
Clearly he watched it and he...
Yeah, let's have you go first.
No, I like the way he looks. I like the way he looks.
Yeah, this is a cleaner look.
Yes it is, yes it is.
Carol?
I like it. It's very clean, but it's also very aging because he's a young, vibrant dude. I think he should wear something a little more hip.
Like the diaper pants?
No, not necessarily the diaper pants. Perhaps just the cut of the blazer and the cut of the pants a different way, but something that makes him look younger. Because hey, he looks like he's in his 40s, and he can stand to look a bit younger with an outfit like this.
Annabelle, I see you're agreeing with Carol.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Anto, what a great guy. He's such a stellar guy. And also, I think, you know, he's also quite diminutive, meaning that he's quite petite. And sometimes, you know, styling helps really elongate you. And if I was Anto's stylist, I would actually put him in black and white, just to, you know, draw the length out of him and make him even more handsome than he already is.
Okay. Bob.
No, I think I agree with Ian. He's very smart, and I think this is more or less a business decision. When you go for a function, you have to think about the kind of people you might meet.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't have his diaper pants here. If he went and talked to some people who
They're called harem pants.
who are movers and shakers in the boardroom in making big decision makers, they would look at him and say, this is someone we can talk to and we can talk about when you go back to the office on Monday. So I think even Kenyan artists need to understand the event.
I'm not too sure about that though, because I see Bob Collymore with Giuliani, you know, literally everywhere, and Giuliani does not go out of his way to be somebody.
I agree.
But if you think about it, Bob Collymore is a larger than life. You will not see Giuliani with a bank CEO.
But you see, the thing is that by the time you're getting an endorsement from a corporate, it's because there is something definitive about your brand that they're investing in. And it is not necessarily because you have blue hair or because you look like Sophie.
They can't go they all can't go for Bob Collymore, who is larger than life. There is banks, there is NGOs that look at character. I know of an artist who talked to me that they wanted to endorse him. When he went there, they told him, but we've seen you taking photos holding dollar bills on Facebook. And because of that, he missed out. So they also want to see, are you worthy carrying our product? Even his pose, look at it, he's serious. So I think this was a business decision, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah, and I am sure that there was a lot of, you know, multi-choice bigwigs at that event, so Bob might have a point there, but tell us what you think. Let's see what else was happening. Okay, so let's talk about this high-low on, I believe her name is
Charlene.
Yes. She was formerly on Tahiti High, and I believe has now scaled greater heights in the film industry locally and beyond. Let's talk about this high-low, Annabelle, how trendy it is, how appropriate for this function. What do you think?
Yeah, the high-low trend is still going strong in Kenya. I particularly like the way she's done it here, even though I'm not a fan of high-low anymore, but I think she's done it the best way that you can do high-low.
Annabelle, you said you're not a fan of high-low anymore, so who will wear it after you say
I mean, I just think that it's a trend that's come and that should go now.
Yeah.
We should put it to bed. But having said that, I think Charlene has done a really great job because she's really streamlined herself. We were talking about streamlining people to elongate them, and she streamlined herself by wearing all black, and she's balanced her look because her legs are obviously exposed, and she's wearing long sleeves so that, you know, there's balance and there's not too much on show. What an elegant, beautiful girl. Yeah.
And my director tells me we're pressed for time. If we could get Nick Mutuma's photo, please, Marcy. Yes, and there we go. So all black. A touch of African. Bob,
I think it looks fantastic.
this is a win?
Yes, it is an absolute win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carol?
It looks good, but again, like Antonio Soul, it ages him. He's a young, very attractive man. You want to take advantage of that for as long as you possibly can, so that when you're in your 40s, you don't start dressing like you're in your 20s. And for me, I think that this look actually does age him. I think it makes him look much older than he should, especially with the beard. And I think that if he would have gotten, again, a more fitted look, he's very streamlined, of course, because it makes him look longer and taller. But again, I think, you know, just stick with your age. Just experiment with it. Enjoy it while you're there. You know.
Ian, does this age Nick?
It makes him look a lot more mature than he really is. But I like it. I like the way he looks.
And Annabelle?
I like it. Everybody on the show today is showing us how to do a touch of African. Do it subtly. Don't go there in like a billion different mixed prints like I'm wearing today. But, you know, keep it subtle. You know, just a pocket square, a little West African inspired top. Really, really cute.
So the panel very impressed with that particular event and what everybody wore. I think just a bit disappointed with Nyota Ndogo on her big day. Let's get your tweets. Okay, there we go. Bob, let's hear you. Okay, you guys look so cool. The whole team is a statement of a fashion. Bob, wake up.
Okay, I'm up now.
Okay, let's go.
I think Nyota Ndogo is perfect. It's Swahili culture to have that makeup, the gown and the headgear, aka Kimia.
Oh.
You know, keep quiet, everybody. Stop hating.
She stands out, unique. That's why she trended. Thumbs up. Really, Stephen? Are you really sure about that? The lady with the black trousers and flowered blouse looks fantastic. I believe you're talking about Jella. And Carol, let's have you take that one.
Nyatandogo looks a little overdone, but who are we to judge? It was her big day.
True.
I agree.
True.
Who are we to judge? We're just going with the
Nice
trend
question.
and what everybody was talking about, and that is what everybody was talking about. Thanks for your time, and to the panel, many thanks for your time once again this evening. We'll see you again next week. Good night.